So, welcome to lecture 22, encapsulation and abstraction. So, in the last class we talked about encapsulation, data hiding. In fact, we had seen two programs in C++ and one program in Java. So, now we will see two case study, one in C++, another one in Java. So, let us consider the student grade management system. In fact, we had seen this for different concept. So, now with the help of encapsulation, how we are going to do this, right. So, this system will demonstrate how certain data, like let us say student grade, right, is securely stored, right. So, that means we are going to use it as a private member data, and then it will be controlled by getter and setter methods or setter functions, right. So, it also ensures that the grades can only modified through control methods, right. So, you can change the grade, alright, or you can say modify the grade, or you can update the grade using the control methods. The control methods are nothing but getter method and setter method, and any attempt to assign invalid grades will be rejected, right. So, this is a case study that we are going to see, right, and then we can learn what do you mean by encapsulation, right, with the case study. So, now as I said in the last class, I said you try to use more private member data. So, that we are going to see now, alright. So, let us assume that we have class student, alright. So, class student, you have the private member data, alright, private member data, string name, right, name of the string, and int roll number and character grade, right. So, 3 private member data we are using, and then so here you have the constructor will initialize. So, student is a constructor. If you look at the name of the class, which is student, and here you go, the name of the constructor is student, right. So, which has student name, student roll number and student grade, alright. So, student name, so that will be assigned to name, right. So, student roll number, that will be assigned to roll number, right, and then you have a set grade, right. So, you are going to use set grade, right. So, student grade that you are passing, so that means you are going to call this particular function set grade, and in fact, this member function, so which is a public member function, which is available over here, line number 46, right. So, the set grade will be called, and if it is greater than or equal to A, less than or equal to F, so there is, we will see, alright. So, that means what I mean to say, so this particular function will be called in the constructor, right. Set grade is a member function, right, and whatever we are passing student grade, right. So, that will be passed in this particular member function, and this will be invoked because it is available in line number 46, right. So, that means it is available inside the class. So, inside the class any other member function can access other member functions, right. So, that we have already studied. So, that we will see, right. I hope you understand. So, here you have one member function is there in line number 17. So, that we have defined in line number 46. So, this will be called. So, this is your constructor, and the next one is getter method. So, this is your getter method, right. So, get name is the name of the member function, right, and the return type is string. So, this is returning name, right. So, getter function, right. Another one is obviously setter function. So, you are passing student name is under string, and the student name is assigned to name, right. Student name is assigned to name, and then you have another getter method, which is get roll number, alright. So, one more getter function. So, you can use as many function as you want, right. So, you have getter method for the roll number. So, get roll number. So, get roll number whose return type is integer, and it will return roll number, right. And the next one is set roll number. You are passing student's roll number, right. So, student roll number is assigned to roll number, alright. Student roll number is assigned to roll number. So, whose return type is void, right. And you have one getter method for grade, So, get grade, that is a getter method whose return type is character, which is returning grade, right, which is returning grade. So, now you have setter method. So, you have set grade, you are going to pass grade in the main, right. So, that means you have an argument called student grade. So, this method line number 46 we have already seen in the constructor it is being called, right. So, what exactly the set grade is doing? So, you can see over here you have student grade, right. So, which is a character. So, now there is some logical operation, right. So, student grade greater or equal to A, the character that you are writing based on the ASCII, whether it is greater or equal to A or less than or equal to F, right. So, that means you have to pass only A, B, C, D, E and F, right. So, the grade student grade will be assigned to grade, right. So, now you can see in all the cases, right. So, this particular function is accessing a private member data called grade, right. So, I will come to that those two, alright. So, student grade is assigned to grade, else, right, it is an invalid grade. So, suppose you are entering G, H, Z, right. So, they are all invalid grade. So, the valid grade is between A and F, right. So, here this particular setter function can access the private member data called grade, right. So, now you can see that your setter method which is accessing roll number, get roll number which is accessing roll number, and if you look roll number which is a private member data, right, and then here you have name, right. Your get name is accessing name and the set name which is accessing name, right, and name is the private member data. So, this is how the functions, right, getter and setter functions or the member functions which are controlling this private member data, right. So, this can be controlled only these functions, I cannot directly access. Suppose I have let us say student S1, right, the object S1 and I am trying let us say S1 dot name, it will give an error, right, or S1 dot roll number error, S1 dot grade will be an error, right. So, we have done up to line number 52, right. If it is not between A and F, it is going to give an error, right. So, next one line number 55 you have one method called display student details, right. So, the display student details which is a member function. So, that member function, so this also can access, right. So, in fact, that is going to print name, roll number and grade, right. So, name, roll number and grade will be printed, yes, this also can access. So, now if you see these are all the public member functions, the getter, setter and display, right. So, these are all the public member functions and they can access the private member data, right. This is what exactly happening, right. So, they can access the private member data. So, now we will go to the main, we are entering in the main program, right. So, I have created an object called student1, right, whose class is student. So, in fact, I am passing 3 parameters Pradeep, 101 and A, right. So, we know that this is a parameterized constructor student1. When I am creating an object, this will invoke the parameterized constructor. So, when it is invoking the parameterized constructor, you can see over here, right. I have passed student name Pradeep, right. I have a roll number I believe 101 and the grade is A, right. So, this is what exactly happening, right. So, this is what exactly happening, right. So, I have passed the name is Pradeep and student roll number is 101 and the student grade is A. So, this we are passing. So, now student name, now this method can control the private member data. So, now name is equal to Pradeep and roll number is equal to 101, right. So, now set grade function, this is invoking set grade function, right. So, set grade function, what is student grade? Student grade is A, correct. So, this I am passing, A I am passing and it is invoking set grade, right. In fact, this particular constructor is invoking set grade inside, alright. So, what is set grade? So, set grade is here, if student grade greater or equal to A, yes it is A, right. So, then A will be assigned to grade, now this function is using grade, right. So, grade is A now, right. So, grade is A now. So, now student name is in fact name Pradeep, roll number is 101 and grade is A, right. So, this is clear now, right. So, this is clear now. So, now the student 1, the object which is invoking display student details, right. So, when it is invoking display student details, so these are being printed, name will be printed Pradeep, roll number is 101 and grade is A. So, these 3 will be printed when student 1 is invoking, these will be printed, right. And the next one again student 1, right. So, student 1 set name is Imanshu, right. You are setting the name Imanshu, there is no enrollment number. So, you know that already it is student 1, all right, enrollment number is there, all right. But the previous case we have not deleted that copy. So, 101 is there, so that will be printed and student 1 which is invoking set grade is B. So, now what is happening, name of the student is Imanshu, same enrollment number 101 and the grade is B, right. So, when I am calling this particular function, when it is invoking, right. So, when you are invoking student 1 display student details, right, when student 1 object is invoking display student details. So, when you run the code, so you will get like this, right. So, initially we displayed this information, right. So, when you look at this particular case, right. So, we pass this and then, right. So, the line number 68 student 1 is invoking display student details, correct. So, it is printing Pradeep 101 and A, right. And the second case we are printing, right. So, we are setting this student 1 dot set name Imanshu and set grade B, right. So, now this is changing, right. So, set name is Imanshu, set grade is B, right, and there is no change in the roll number, right. So, therefore, this will be printed updated student details, right. So, that is what happening over here, updated student details, and then you have Imanshu grade B 101, there is no change, correct. So, this we are getting, and finally, when student 1 is invoking set grade by passing Z, so this character is not in the range, right. So, we know the range is between A to F and it is going beyond the range. So, we have to get this as the input, invalid grade must be between A and F, right. So, that is what we are getting this as an output, right. I hope it is clear, right. So, this is how in the case of C++, right, it is working, correct. So, in the case of C++, it is working like this. So, now we will see one more case study with the help of Java. So, what we have done in C++? So, we have, let us say in the previous example we have 3 member data, alright, and then the getter and setter functions. So, those are all the control functions, particularly display style as well, right. So, the display methods as well, alright. So, these functions can control the private member data. So, this is what exactly happening, and then we can able to control with the help of public member function and we can access the private member data. And we can see one more case study, bank account management system, right. The bank account management system using encapsulation in Java, right. So, let us create a class called bank account, alright, and then you have some private attributes, right, the private member data such as account holder name, account number and balance, alright. So, the class will include getter and setter methods, right. The class will include getter and setter methods to access and modify these attributes, alright. So, with the validation, alright. So, what is the validation? The bank balance cannot be negative and withdrawal should not exceed the available balance, right. So, this is the validation, you have to check this validation. So, now with the help of encapsulation, so we are going to have the private member data like account holder name, account number and balance, alright, and then we are going to have several getter and setter methods. So, that can access account holder name, account number and balance. So, let us see. So, we have 3 private member data, right. So, we have 3 private member data, account holder name, right, account number and balance, right. So, balance whose data type is double, account number whose data type is string, and account holder name whose data type is string. Okay. So, now let us have the constructor bank account, right. So, you have the constructor bank account and we are going to pass account holder name, account number and initial balance. So, these are the 3 arguments. That means 3 values you have to pass in the main, alright, and then they are all will be assigning. Account holder name will be assigned to this dot account holder name. So, that means account holder name, it is getting the value, initialize the proper initialization, and account number is assigned to this dot account number, alright, and initial balance, alright, that will be passed. So, whatever you are passing, that means it is going to call the function called set balance, exactly like a previous program, alright. So, it is going to call set balance. Let us say you have one getter method, alright. So, the getter method, you have get account holder name. So, getter method, you have one get account holder name. So, that will return account holder name, which is the private member data, and you have another setter method. So, you have a setter method called set account holder name. You are passing account holder name. So, the account holder name is assigned to this dot account holder name, right. So, that will be assigned to this dot account holder name, and line number 26 you have 27 you have get account number method, which is a getter method, alright. So, that getter method will return account number, alright. So, similarly you will have a setter. So, the setter method for account, that means you are passing the account number, alright. So, the set account number, the account number will be assigned to this dot account number, so that the initialization will be proper. And you have one getter method for balance, alright. So, you have the function called method called get balance, whose return type is double, which is public, and that will return balance, right. So, that will return balance, and here you have. So, this particular function, this particular method is already called by your constructor, right. If you look at the constructor bank account, so this particular method is being called, right. So, you call it as the initial balance, correct. So, you are passing the initial balance, set balance will be called, that means we are passing from here, right, and when it is calling this particular method, correct. So, it is being called, right, you are passing, and this will be like this. If balance greater than or equal to 0, balance will be this dot balance. So, if it is going negative, so invalid balance, balance cannot be negative, alright. So, if you are passing minus 5, correct, minus 5.00, alright. So, then invalid balance, balance cannot be negative. And then you have one public method is deposit, alright. If amount greater than 0, balance equal to balance plus amount, right. If amount greater than 0, balance is equal to balance plus amount, right. So, system.out.println, so it will give successfully deposited, alright. So, that you have a amount, alright. Otherwise, invalid deposit amount, alright. So, that is invalid deposit amount. If amount is less than 0, alright, which is not possible, when you are depositing you won't deposit the negative one, alright. So, invalid deposit. So, the balance will be incremented whatever the amount you are depositing, right. So, successfully you have deposited the amount. So, that means balance is incremented by whatever the amount that you have deposited. So, previous balance plus amount, and you are displaying amount, right. So, successfully deposited the amount. So, now you have one more public method, withdraw, alright. So, withdraw, you are passing amount. So, if amount greater than 0 and amount less than or equal to balance, there is a change in the balance, balance equal to balance minus amount, alright. And then you are printing system.out.println successfully withdrawn whatever be the amount, successfully withdrawn whatever be the amount. So, this is the amount that you are withdrawing. That means, if it is less than or equal to balance, you can able to withdraw this. Otherwise, else if amount greater than balance, right. Suppose you have 1000 rupees and then you want to withdraw 2000, balance is 1000, but you want to withdraw 2000, right. So, it will print insufficient balance for withdrawal, right, it will print insufficient balance for withdrawal, else invalid withdrawal amount, right. So, minus 10, so something like that, right. So, when you put correct, so if you are displaying, right, if you are passing the amount which is, let us say, less than 0 or greater than the balance, right. In fact, greater than the balance it will be taking care, right. Other than this range, in fact, less than 0, less than or equal to 0, alright. So, which you are printing invalid withdrawal amount. In fact, if I put 0, alright, 0 can be passed. So, if it is passed, so it will be coming over here and then, alright. So, that will be printing invalid withdrawal amount, correct. So, this is one of the method, public method withdraw, right. So, the last one is displaying all the details, right. So, the display account details. So, you have account holder name, account number and balance, right. So, what are all the methods we have? So, we have, let us say, one constructor, bank account is the constructor, yes, of course, class name of the class is bank account, and here you have set, in fact, the get method for account holder, get account holder name, and then set method for set account holder name, and getter method for get account number, right, set account number, get balance and set balance, right. So, these are all the getter and setter methods, and then you have deposit, right. This is a method, deposit is a method, withdrawal is a method, right, and then finally you have display account details, correct. So, here I have the public main, right. So, you have a driver class, main driver class, right. So, here you have account 1 is the object and the bank account is the class, right. Account 1 is the object and bank account is the class. So, with the help of dynamic array, sorry, with the help of dynamic memory location, so you have the constructor, right, constructor, and you are passing 3 values, Tapan, and this is the account number and this is the amount, all right, this is the amount, you are passing these 3 values, right. So, the constructor, so constructor is being called, right, name is Tapan, so account holder name is Tapan, and then the account number we have put the A, Z, everything, and set balance function will be called, right. So, the initial balance how much, 500 rupees, right, or $500, right. So, this is being passed. So, set balance function will be called, that means set balance method will be called, balance greater than or equal to 0, yes, true. So, this dot balance will be equal to balance, right. So, this dot balance will be equal to balance. So, that means I have name, account number and the balance is being initialized, they are being initialized, right. So, next what is happening, when you are creating an object, these 3 values are being initialized. So, now you are displaying account details. So, these details will be displayed, system.out.println, right, is empty one. So, these will be displayed, that means when you are calling this particular method, account holder name, account number, balance will be displayed, Tapan, corresponding account number, this is account number and 500 will be printed, all right. And now you are depositing 150, right, account 1 which is invoking the method called deposit, right, which is invoking the method called deposit. So, you are passing 150. So, the deposit method will be invoked, where is deposit, here. So, amount is 150 greater than 0. So, balance is equal to balance plus amount, right. So, balance will be now 650, 500 plus 150, 650, right, and then you have successfully deposited 150 will be printed, should be printed, right, that is the amount. So, it will not go to the else part. And next you are withdrawing 100. So, 650 is there, right, when you are withdrawing 100 should be minus 100, right. So, 550, resultant will be 550, all right. So, you are trying to withdraw, so that means this particular method will be called, right. So, how much you are trying to withdraw, 150, right, how much you are trying to withdraw, 100, let us say 100 you are trying to withdraw. So, 100 is between this, right, between the amount greater than 0 and balance. So, balance equal to balance minus amount, right. So, the resultant will be 550, 650 was there, 100 you want to withdraw, 650 minus 100 is 550, right. So, this is what happening. So, you have successfully withdrawn whatever the amount that you have passed. So, you have passed 100. So, that 100 will be displayed, that means you want to withdraw 100, right. So, what is the balance now? 550. So, when it is 550 you are trying to withdraw 600 now. So, that is more than available balance. So, I have 550 balance, I am trying to withdraw 600, right. So, I have to get the warning message, right. So, that means the amount greater than balance, it has to give insufficient balance for withdrawal, right. So, this has to be displayed, right. So, this will be displayed, right. And then finally, so the display account details, right. So, when account 1 is invoking display account details, right. So, I will get the complete output, the account number, name Tapan, corresponding account number, whatever be the available balance right now, right. So, those things will be displayed. So, you can see that, right. So, initially I have 500, right. So, then you have deposited 150, balance will be 650, right, and then you are trying to withdraw 100, right. So, when you are trying to withdraw 100, the balance should be 550, and then you are trying to withdraw 600, right. When you are trying to withdraw 600, what is happening? Insufficient balance for withdrawal is being printed, right. And then finally, you are displaying, when you are displaying, the name of the account holder is Tapan and this is the account number, and as expected 550 will be the remaining, we are getting 550, right. So, we have seen two different case study, one is with respect to C++, right, another one is Java. So, in all the cases, so you have the private member data and then you have a control methods or control member functions called getter and setter or even another member function. So, they can able to access the private member data. So, which is called the encapsulation or data hiding, and in the next class we will see data abstraction, right. Thank you very much.